Underground spaces have a kind of complex and long history in the human psyche. They're places of attraction and repulsion, and it doesn't take too much to go from one to the other. I can't tell you the number of people under 40 who just come down here and think, why isn't something happening here? And I think that speaks to a generational mind shift in how cities work and how they can be used and what they're about. Currently, we're sitting in the east platform of the Dupont Underground. It is a space that has been abandoned mostly for more than half a century. Built at the end of World War II, late 40s, as a trolley station. But then the streetcar system shut down in '62. And since then, it largely has remained empty. The space has been waiting for an opportunity, and we think we have that opportunity. We had to wait for the times to catch up with us. And even DC itself, you can see, is beginning to address these things, like the 11th Street Bridge Park, which is entirely a kind of project the city would not have done a decade ago.
The 11th Street Bridge Park is a project of building bridges across the river at the ARC, which is a Ward 8-based nonprofit. And we're based in Congress Heights in southeast DC. The 11th Street Bridge Park will actually span the Anacostia River, a beautiful opportunity to repurpose aged out infrastructure into an overwater civic space for the community and actually physically connect Ward 6 and Ward 8. There's really fantastic reuse of infrastructure projects happening around the country, the High Line in New York City, and really setting a tone for future developments.
You know, as the High Line in New York, which has become very popular and a kind of a touch point for cities thinking about how to reuse infrastructure. DC doesn't really have a lot of community type spaces. And so one of the appeals that we think this space will have is that it offers 15,000 square feet on this side, and then when we open up the other side, another 15,000 square feet. That kind of space just doesn't exist in the city outside a major museum. This is all burgeoned into a nonprofit that is focused on redeveloping the space as a cultural destination. So arts and design events, live performances, music, dance, and theater, pop-up retail and dining experiences, community events, other kinds of interesting uses. So it's a space in the city, but not really of the city. It's here, but it's not connected. It kind of exists in its own potential space. So this is an opportunity for local community groups, local arts collectives, small art galleries like Transformer just down the street, or Hamiltonian up on U Street, or the ARC across the Anacostia River, which all do great stuff, but they're limited by square footage. What could they do with 15,000 square feet?
I think the communities on both sides of the Anacostia River are incredibly different. We have Ward 6, the average family income there is 6 figures. And then we look east of the river and we have incredible disparities, whether they're health disparities, economic disparities, and we have a population that's 97% or so African American. We're actually bridging Ward 6 and Ward 8 together, and that's what I think is so unique about this project, is that opportunity to connect two sides of the river that have been divided for generations. We know that signature parks like the 11th Street Bridge Park can raise property values anywhere from 5 to 40%. It's not a guess. We know that that is something that can happen. There's a 70% rental rate in our impact zone east of the river. That is a population that's highly susceptible to any increases in their rent. We currently have $8.35 million from the city to help us construct this project. And then we will put a shovel in the ground hopefully by 2017, and expected opening is 2019.
We are a nonprofit, so fundraising will always be an issue for us. We are getting no financial help at the moment from DC itself. It'll take a village to build this thing in a number of ways, from financial support to volunteer efforts.